Yo, what's happening? Thai Tunes, Thai Tuesday. I brought along some props. As always, up the freaking Reds because they won 2-0 yesterday. I guess we'll just wait for Trace to come on in, so that'll be funny when he gets in here. He said that he would not be beatboxing. He said he's not going to do that, but whatever. I just wanted to start off the show by saying how fed up I am with the whole media circus about Nicki Minaj and her crappy album and how mad she is that she's number 2 in the country behind Travis Scott's Astroworld. That's just ridiculous. Who cares? I'm so sick of her talking about it's a media scandal and it's against black women and Spotify not doing the numbers for her, and then all this crazy shade back and forth at the VMAs, which I will not be covering because I want to focus on real hip-hop. I wish it was talked more about the up-and-coming, the new school talented rappers, not the XXS's of the world. So yeah, that was a bit of a rant. I got to give a shout out to Manny Fresh, RIP. No, he's not dead, but he dropped some new music in the old DMs. Gold Link Kokomo freestyle, which I think is pretty old, but damn, that is a jam. It's super bouncy. It kind of reminds me of being in like a Cuban marketplace or something with some live instrumentation going on. People are getting buck wild and funky. It was tons of fun. And then he introduced me to a gal named Lady Sure. Her RIP freestyle was intense. Awesome trap banger. Oh, nice of you to join us.
talking to yourself or your fans, dude.
I'm talking. No, the show is on, dude. It's live.
It's on. It's live.
Yeah, let's hear your beatboxing.
No.
You have to. It's literally part of the show.
Well, I'm not beatboxing.
All right, fair enough. Here, hold this thing.
No, dude.
Take.
You know why, dude. You know why. You know what you did.
I had to put you on blast just a pinch.
Did you already put me on blast before?
Oh yeah, you'll have to watch it then.
Just because I've been busy working today.
No, working. He's working hard. He's off to Europe. He's floating away here in what, next week?
Yeah, so
that's a bummer.
8 days.
Dude, you gotta say goodbye to all your fans out there.
I'll be back in like 2 weeks. I'm dying. Dude.
No. Well, I already said R.I.P. accidentally to one of the homies.
I say R.I.P. to somebody.
I did. It was an accident. It was an accident. Fresh, you're alive and well, and I hope you're doing well. I was talking about the new music drops. Like, it's not new, but it's new to me. Yeah. Gold Link, Kokomo is the name of the track.
Is it called Kokomo?
It's Kokomo. I looked it up. Yeah.
That's a weird way to pronounce that.
Yeah. Well, it's Kokomoe. Kind of funny.
Okay. I mean that is.
So I described it as like in a Caribbean marketplace, just like bouncy. That was tons of fun. And then Lady Sure, she's kind of similar to our boy in Wigway, Toby. In that
you didn't send those ones to me. I'm only privy to the Gold Link.
Fair enough. This gal, I think she's a British, maybe grime or trap rapper.
Yeah. She
freestyles about, once again, kind of with the subject that I was talking about, how the media around hip-hop is focused on the super mega stars, which I think that term gets tossed around quite a bit. The Nicki Minaj's and the Cardi B's, who are all wrapped up in themselves and the numbers that they're doing. Whereas this gal was talking about up-and-coming and people with actual talent. Yeah. No offense to Nicki Minaj and her fans, but it's not what I'm checking for. But people with like lyrical talent and an ear for beats, and how they're so underrated and they're not highlighted often enough, and they really got to scrape and scrounge to get their name out there via YouTube and SoundCloud, word of mouth, pop-up shows and everything like that. So I respect that hustle, which was cool. And then kind of that's all oh my goodness, you better not have killed that. Yes, okay. That was all that I had. So I wanted to give this time, because I said that I would listen to some new music, but unfortunately I have not.
New music. He can't move away from hip hop.
I can't, and also I was listening
to a hard time with it.
I was also listening to a lot of Liverpool podcasts.
Oh, that's on you then.
That's fair enough.
It's on you. I mean, I've been obsessed with American football when my people are.
It's coming. It's
coming around.
It's starting. It's starting here. Okay. So yeah, you have the floor if you wanted to highlight any new music that I should listen to, they should listen to.
I mean, it's pretty hard to nail down though. There's just so much. There's so much that gets put out on like a weekly basis. It's almost too much to track. Dude,
tell me about it, man. Friggin' new music comes out every hour of every day.
Yeah, it's insane. But there was some stuff that I have been listening to. I guess from a rock standpoint, I mean, you brought up Cage and the Elephant. It's funny. They haven't come up with anything new in a little while, but I mean, they're always fire. They're one of the best like bands I've ever seen live, along with Glass Animals. And I mean, Metallica's still killing it. I mean, we're talking about Metallica.
Oh, Metallica.
2018.
Yes.
I mean,
that is one that should shoot up to the top of my radar. I have not heard their new album.
Yeah.
I think they dropped something this year.
Flame.
Yes. See?
Most recent one.
Hip hop, rock. It's like peanut butter and jelly, dude.
Well, I mean, hip hop stars kind of like that's where they got a lot of their stardom feel. Is they like the rock star life.
They sampled that. They sampled blues
in the '70s in was that CBGB basically in New York. And if no one has seen Sonic Highway, they need to watch Sonic Highway on HBO.
Okay.
It's Dave Grohl. He goes around to just like different big cities like Seattle and San Francisco and New York, where like a lot of like the biggest like rock scenes started basically.
Nice.
Yeah, and it's a really cool. I guess what would you call that? Like not an anthology. Would that be an anthology?
Compilation.
Yeah. It's good though.
It's on HBO.
Yeah, it's on HBO.
Okay.
I would say that's.
Check that
it's
out.
been out for a couple years now, but it's just maybe longer. And I'm gonna start dating myself because that might have been longer than that. But it's amazing. I mean, he also talks about just like, you know, where he came from, obviously. And everybody knows where he came from, but how it started. You know what I mean? A lot of people.
Cool.
Yeah, so that's pretty dope.
Any insights into Kurt Cobain, or he kind of leaves that off to the side?
I don't really remember that part about Nirvana. I definitely think they touched on it, but they were only one part of that Seattle like grunge scene.
Right.
So like that is like a small element, I guess, of it. As big as they are and how long they stand in infamy, I think that has a lot to do with, and this is not to say anything negative, but you know, when you are legendary before your death, you stand in infamy forever. I mean, something could be said about that. Jimi Hendrix.
Yep.
I mean, was it Janis Joplin? The 27 Club, basically.
I was going to say 33 for some reason, but yeah.
Always like talks about that. Family's always been a rock.
Well, Hendrix was also from Seattle, right?
Was he? I don't remember that.
I think so.
I mean, that sounds right, but I feel like he was at
Woodstock
in Pennsylvania. Woodstock was in Pennsylvania.
He could.
I mean, I'm just saying, it's just like, you know, I always thought that he was from like the East Coast. They're from like
I want to say he's from Seattle or some place over here in the West, but you'll have to Google that one. Can't do it on my phone because it's obviously being recorded.
Yeah. We don't have a real time person like you'd say like those shows do, like the podcast. Like
I know we need
a real time person behind the scenes. Like that show has that. Like all these ESPN like morning shows, they all have the real time. Like
I keep getting bashed over the head with production value and directors and editors and all this stuff. Just let my homegrown show blossom into the beautiful flower that it will. Okay, you're gonna be gone.
Oh,
so I'm gonna have to hold. I'm gonna have to hold down the fort.
You've been holding the fort like 2 months before I got here.
Fair enough. Well, I'm gonna bring in other guests, but I think this one might go a little bit long. So, do you have any last words?
Any last words?
other than. See, there you go. There's that production value.
What a cut, dude. What a cut.
Fair enough. All right, man. Have a Tuesday.
Okay.